Today's video is going to be dedicated to RomeDAO. I'm going to be talking about RomeDAO's price a little bit, then we'll be looking at the rewards calculator, and then I'm going to look at their Twitter page to show you some of their latest updates, just so you can understand. Now, I have done a dedicated review to talk about RomeDAO and explained how protocol-owned liquidity actually works by looking through their wiki page, which basically gives us a description of how everything works. So do check that video out. It should pop up on the top right hand corner of the screen if you're new to RomeDAO. But if you already know what it is, then think of this as pretty much an update video of what's going on with RomeDAO and why I'm personally bullish on RomeDAO, why I've been scooping up some. I'm done scooping up though. I have enough right now. I'm just waiting for things to happen. So we're going to be talking about the updates. Okay, so as we can see here, Rome on solarbeam.io. Again, this is the decentralized exchange on Moonriver where you can trade Rome. It's the only one that actually trades Rome at the moment. There are talks that Zenlink might add Rome. So hopefully we'll see Rome on there as well for extra liquidity, which can't hurt, right? And maybe some centralized exchange are going to list them, although I don't think they're fans of centralized exchanges. Nobody should be, right? Everyone wants decentralized exchanges. We don't want to see those centralized entities blocking our Rome, right? Because it could happen. So yeah, trading at 176.35 cents. On USDC pair here, as we can see on Solarbeam. So not doing too great in terms of price. We had some FUD with the OHM Olympus DAO, which is the main token, because RomeDAO is a fork of Olympus DAO. Because somebody who's been holding a lot of Olympus apparently sold $11 million worth of Olympus DAO because they want to they're basically worried about the whole market situation, so they want to make sure they have enough financial assets, but people are super annoyed with them because they nuked the token. It pretty much dumped to like, I think it was like $300 and it dumped to like 120 or so. It went even lower than Rome, so really harsh for the OHM community. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with it. Perhaps it does because it affected other forks, but it's not sure, right? So next, let's talk about the calculator here. Okay, so a Solarbeam is where you can actually get Rome. If you are interested, you can do it against the Mover pair or against USDC as I showed you. But the RomeDAO calculator is where the important information is at, and this will pretty much help you understand why it's important to compound Rome and not just to stake and then sell the staking rewards. So for example, let's take an average investor that has maybe 10 Rome. Right, so again, it shows SROM here. SROM stands for staked Rome. If you would have watched my explainer video, you would understand what SROM stands for exactly. It's exactly the same as Rome. It just changes to SROM when you're staking. So when you unstake, it goes back to Rome. Okay, so it changes on a 1-to-1 ratio. Don't worry about that. That's fine. So let's assume you've got 10 SROM. Okay, this is the current APY here. Basically the percentage income that you can get per year. This is the staking rebase reward, okay, 0.61% with each rebase. So each rebase means each payment, which is every 8 hours. So every 8 hours you get some new staking income, a payout basically, and a new Rome goes into circulation. This is the Rome purchase price right now, 179.73. If you click on get current here, you can get the current price. Okay, it takes it from Solarbeam, so 177, as you can see, dumped a little bit here. Now if we change the Rome future price to be, say, 100 times less than the actual price, okay, because in 1 year things could happen, right? This could happen, it could be higher, but let's assume here that it's at 1% the current valuation, and let's say that you're holding it for 365 days, not touching it, right, compounding it, right? Your 10 Rome are worth $1,773 at the current price. Your estimated SROM rewards after 1 year are 8,269.3. Okay, so it's quite a lot. And it says that the value, if the price would be $1.77, your value would be 14,636. So your total SROM would be 8,279.3, and your total investment value would be 14,654. So that's awesome, considering you've only put in 1,773. And this is assuming the worst scenario here with $1.77. Now, $1 is the floor price for Rome. Okay, they do have a back-in price as well, which is around $80 or $90, I believe, at the moment. But the protocol will not allow it to run lower than $1. Okay, so that's why it's called protocol owned liquidity. This is why it's DeFi 2.0. So apparently $1 is the base value. So let's assume that you don't think it's going to be $1.77 in 1 year. It's going to be exactly at the floor price, which is $1. If that would be the case, then you would still be up quite a lot, right? Considering you only put in 1,773, you're now doing really well. You're at 8,279 at the floor price, so it cannot go any lower than the floor price. This is assuming that, of course, the team just, I don't know, stop developing or something. I don't know, right? The worst case scenario here, right? Or maybe like we're in the absolute peak of the bear market and everything has been dumping and we're at the absolute floor price right now, and we can't get any lower than that, right? But remember that the team do have stuff upcoming, and we'll talk about those as well. So I just wanted to show you this just to kind of get an understanding here. So the next rebase, which is the next payout, is going to be in 5 hours and 31 minutes. As you can see, like I said to you, every 8 hours you get that rebase. So it's absolutely awesome, and the 5-day return is 9.9%. Now, one thing I want to talk about here with regards to this, because this is not going to hold, but the calculator is created so that it's adjusted for the upcoming APY change, right? So this 5-day rate is the current rate at the moment. As you can see, 521,997 Rome have been staked. This is the current market cap, right? Only 104 million, which is still very low, right? Does have a lot of room to grow. It could easily go to 300, 400 million once the game goes live. But for now, it is what it is, 100 million, right? And this is gonna drop. Okay, so we're in different stages at the moment, and we'll be talking about the stages now. Okay, in this image here, as you can see, we had the founding stage, which is when Rome was first created, and it had one supply. It went to 500,000. Then we've moved into the regal stage. So we can see we're on the regal stage right now, which is between 500,000 and 10 million total supply. Okay, so during this stage, you could see that the APY is changing from 9.93% all the way down to 3.35%. Okay, so with every passing block, the APY is dropping. Okay, but it's dropping at such a low rate that it's really hard to see, right? So it all depends on how many people are staking as well, because right now we're at 9.90, okay, at the moment. So we have dropped a little bit from the 500,000 because there are more than 500,000 Rome in circulation right now. And you can see that if you actually go to the blockchain explorer on Moonriver, you can actually see what is the total circulating supply at the moment for Rome, which is the max supply as well. The max supply will always be the circulating supply, including the staked assets, right? The staked assets are staked, but they can be unstaked at any time, right? So they are counted as the circulating supply. So yeah, 591,000, this is the total supply that we've got now, or the circulating supply. And again, you can see that in the blockchain explorer as well. Okay, so this is an example here if you want to see it. Okay, 591,000. So now let's talk about the 3.35%. So even at that, it's still not that bad if you think about it, right? So this is apparently going to take between 6 and 7 months from the time of doing this video. This was posted around early January when they created this table. So they're saying roughly between 6 and 7 months. So sometime this summer, we should see the 3.35% APY every 5 days, okay? It's important to notice every 5 days. Okay, so it's really not that bad if you think about it, but there is going to be a lot more Rome in circulation, so that's also something to keep in mind. And with 10 million total supply, it's really not bad, considering that by summer we should see some more action happening. And then next up, we've got the Republican phase, which is between 10 million and 1 billion. Okay, that is the different phase now, which is tougher if you think about it, because the whole purpose of Rome right now is that people are hyped up because of the low supply, because it's a protocol-owned liquidity DeFi 2.0 asset, right? So when you'll have 1 billion in circulation, it's going to be tougher, right, for people to adopt it, in my opinion. Okay, it all depends what's going on, what they're achieving, what they're doing, the utility, and so on. But anyway, for a newcomer, like at least to me, like 1 billion is a lot. Okay, but it's not going to be for a long time. Okay, 6 months is going to be to get to the end of the regal period, right, the regal era. But then when we go between 10 million and 1 billion, it's going to be the Republican era, which is going to be likely after the summer. And it's going to last probably much longer, right? It's not going to be so sudden. So you shouldn't have to worry about that, at least for another few years. Okay, so we're going to be at that era for a few years. And even then, as you can see, it's between 3.35% and 0.95% every 5 days. So even then, for those that are getting in right then, they're still earning quite a lot. I mean, who gives you 1% APY every 5 days for a decent project, right? We're talking about a decent project here. By then, we would assume that the game is already running. It's already got utility. It's deflationary as well, okay? It's not just inflationary. And now we can talk about the next thing here, which is about the tweets. But before we talk about the tweets, I'd just like to thank today's video sponsors, Dogedi, for sponsoring this video. So let's watch this short clip, and then we'll continue on and talk about the tweets from RomeDAO and what they're planning to do, just to keep you up to date. Thank you. Dogedi, the token from a galaxy far, far away, is a cryptocurrency which by holding grants the holders with passive income in BNB through various features that they have to offer, such as an auto buyback hyper-deflationary function. Dogedi is powered by the Dogedi token. Dogedi is a collateralized cryptocurrency that grants investors holding Dogedi instant BNB rewards on all transactions with auto claim and protects them with its unique Death Star feature, which is an auto boost buyback and burn protocol. They also have 4 other cool features to offer, called Burn, Reward, and Animal Charity, aside from Death Star. They'll also be developing the Dogedi card game, which will be fully integrated with the new Facebook metaverse. There'll be a marketplace for cards, but also a player battle in a virtual arena with a VR. The team will publish a first trailer, which will tell us more about the game. But Dogedi card game should also have a Dogedi card system, which is an NFT collectible card game that will catapult you into the exciting challenges between Dogedi to the sound of lightsaber fights. Check out dogedi.com from the description of this video for more details. Thank you. Okay, so they've actually posted here on Twitter on the 12th of January. They've had a lot of stuff posted here. As you can see, they're posting quite often here to keep people up to date with what's going on. So they're saying that to date, we've successfully bootstrapped a treasury of nearly $40 million via the primarily bond revenue, plus some revenue from LP fees and staking rewards. They remain focused on carefully weaning off bond revenue in favor of long-term sustainable sources of revenue. And now another interesting thing here that they've posted is, how do Rome Launchpad partners fit into APY RPG? And again, APY RPG is referring to the game, okay, the RPG game that they're going to launch. Most Launchpad partners are blue chip protocols that service APY RPG in some way. Their protocol gets integrated with Rome such that moonriver users should almost never have to leave the warm-up to use DeFi on the chain. Okay, so that's an interesting one because it shows you here that they're planning to integrate launchpads into Rome. Okay, so aside from the game, there will also be launchpads. Now, as you can see here, take our upcoming lending partners and above as an example. In-game users will be able to do actions like lend their mover and borrow stables. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about right here. Aside from being a game, you'll also be able to use the game not only to do battles and stuff, which we'll talk about a little bit later because we're going to look through these tweets, but also to be able to use it as a DeFi platform to borrow and lend. Okay, so that's awesome. It's creating a utility for Moonriver and also for Rome as well, because we'll talk about that. Now, they might use the borrowed stables to buy an item that they use for battles. As they earn, maybe they sell their earnings and pay back the loan. Okay, so that is another way to pay back your loan within the game, which is awesome. Now, once ready, players will begin landing on the warm-up each time they visit the new domain. The legacy site will remain live for the finance domain. On the plebeians will take some getting used to GameFi. Okay, so they're changing to GameFi. Okay, this is DeFi 2.0, protocol on liquidity and GameFi. Okay, it's a mix of the two. Now, staking rewards remain core to the DAO, but Rome as a game currency and governance token are the central focus of the token's use. Rome supply inflates from staking or bonding and deflates with usage in the game. Okay, so this is important to see here. Right now we're in the inflation stage. Right now we're generating 9.9% every 5 days, but this is constantly dropping, and then once the game launches, then deflation is going to kick in, and that's going to help reduce that high inflation. Okay, so that's why it's important to keep that in mind, because when the game launches, that's when we're going to see the real action. Another important tweet here: fees from trading in the marketplace, training professions, and other core game mechanisms take tokens out of circulation, and actions like battles, mining, and woodcutting lock supply as these actions take place, reducing circulating supply. So it shows you that in order to battle, you need to lock up some Rome. In order to mine, you need to lock up some Rome. And in order to do woodcutting, you'll need to lock up some Rome. So it just shows you that they're going to create a metaverse for Rome where you'll be able to do various tasks in order to grow your empire, let's say. Okay, so that's awesome, or your community. Now, bonds are an attractive bootstrapping mechanism and will remain a core piece of Rome revenue for some time, but gaming is what we do. And going to battle arm in arm with our fellow Romans is what this DAO is all about. Okay, so that's what they're saying here. They're talking a little bit more about building here. These are some of the pictures just to show you how it's going to look. As you can see here, this is how it's going to be. This is how you're going to be building. Okay, you need to be choosing your items, and again, each item is going to be an NFT. Okay, and you can buy those NFTs with Rome, and this is where the utility comes into play. Okay, so currently in the regal era, the DAO occupies a slim region in western Italy. The expansion is dependent upon the DAO coordinating each campaign in a series of DAO directed battles. The contract allows for a wide range of house-directed battle types, both PvE and PvP. Okay, so this shows you how it's going to look. Now, among the battle parameters, class is an important consideration. While flanking maneuvers may be limited just to cavalry, a siege may be limited to infantry and archers. How classes are decided by the house strategists impacts not only outcome, but who can participate. Okay, I've chosen an archer and I'm part of the House of Chaos. Okay, there are people in my community, they are part of House of Kek or House of Kings, right? So you can choose between different houses. But this is just something that I personally chose because I know the guys at House of Chaos. So that's the reason I chose that. And I like archers because when I used to play MMORPG games, I used to choose archers all the time. Now, the order at which we assault Etruria and types of battles is decided by the houses each week in the war room. A number of on-map options are presented and decided according to priority and what's possible, and PvP is not out of the question. Working together to earn these spoils and conquer Etrus's lands is obviously the preferred approach, but a little deceit is to be expected. Okay, so they're gonna have a lot of different features here. You can see you can back different, you can back S-Rome, you need to lock S-Rome, sorry, in order to perform various tasks. Okay, so for example, let me close this out here. Oh, why can't I do it? Oh, I'm not logged in, so that's why. But yeah, anyway, you could see here it says there battle forever, bridge assault. Okay, so this is one of the tasks that you can do, and you can choose that, and then of course you need to lock S-Rome for that. Again, I don't think you have to lock so much. I think this is a large amount here. I think that's just an example of what they showed you. Okay, and this is how it's gonna look. So it's pretty awesome here. This is how you're gonna be building the empire. Okay, so you can see how do Rome Launchpad's partners play into GameFi. Well, part of Rome bootstrapping moonriver as a gaming hub is helping bring other protocols to the ecosystem. The best partner projects get a place in the warm-up. This is a nod to their quality and a place in game. And these are more pictures here of how it's going to look. Okay, they want to encourage adoption. This is on the 15th of January, and then that's it, right? We don't have any other tweets here. We're waiting on some tweets from today, and maybe tomorrow we're going to get some updates from RomeDAO as well. But I just wanted to basically cover this, and of course to talk about the important calculator which I've mentioned earlier, to kind of show you what you can expect here in the worst case scenario on why compounding Rome is important. If you are interested, again, not financial advice, but if you are interested, this is what I've personally done, and I just wanted to share this. Other people in my community have done this as well. So yes, if you are interested in S-Rome and to support it and to see how things go, this is what you can do to take advantage, of course, of the high APY. That's been it from today's video. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.